everybody, well today we're going to be reviewing the Hoka Mach 4. This is the first time I've ever worn a Hoka shoe. We're going to see how it held up for 300 miles. I've seen a lot of these shoes recently. A lot of folks seem to be wearing them, very popular, so I was excited to give it a shot. First, let's go through the basics. This is a neutral stability running shoe. Hoka rates it as responsive as opposed to using balanced or plush. It's designed for road running. 5mm drop, which is by far the smallest drop of any shoe I've run with. This size was 11.5, we'll get into that, but it weighed a very light 9.10 ounces, cost $130. So I've been buying size 12 shoes for as long as I can remember now. Went in to order another size 12. I was informed by the salesperson, and that's a shout out to Mimi with Fleet Feet, that these tend to run large, so I tried on both 11.5 and 12. It was a close call, decided to go with the 11.5. I have narrow feet, and I really like the way that these things hugged them. Probably something to do with the fact that it was also the 11.5, but it's just really nice and tight and snug, and especially in the heel. I was really a big fan of the way that this shoe hugged my foot, and I thought this material, it breathed great. So as far as this 11.5 size, it was great for any shorter runs. By short, I mean 10 or less. Once I started getting above 10, especially in the summer, things got a little tight. I didn't ever get any hot spots, but certainly by the end of the runs, the toes were feeling squished and jammed. And I actually wore this for the Lincoln, Nebraska marathon. And actually, we just posted that video, so when you're done watching this video, go ahead and check that one out. You can get a great feel for the race and the race course, as well as all the great things that there are to do in Lincoln, Nebraska. So according to Hoka, this Mach 4 was a fairly radical redesign from the Mach 3. So since I'd never worn Hokas before, I went ahead and listened to some other folks' review, read a few things, and it seems like folks are in agreement that this shoe is really quite different from anything they had before. I think Hoka states that the primary change was an all-new foam design that blends a soft landing with an energetic liftoff. So I first wore these shoes for a dog walk, and I'll tell you, I was very intrigued on the ride and the feel and how they really rocked you forward like a rocking horse, this shoe. And sure enough, one of the things Hoka touts in this redesign is that they have an early stage meta rocker. So then I went ahead and wore them on my first run, a 6-miler, and surprisingly that rocking feeling was not there. And also the lack of cushioning in this shoe compared to the others I had been wearing at the time, which was the Pegasus 37 and the Saucony Ride, was very apparent, not detrimental, but you could notice it. Then the very next run I did was a 15-miler on crushed gravel, and they really felt terrific, like I'd had them on for 100 miles. And again, the interesting part about the ride on these shoes, it's a different ride than other ones with the rock and the liftoff, and you can see that. So by this pressure, it doesn't really have that snap on the end, the reflexivity. This is a Saucony Ride, and the same amount of pressure, and this bends back more, so this gives you that snap and liftoff, and this one gives you that toe and rocks you forward. So this shoe was consistent on all different surfaces as well as all lengths of run. So my previous review was the Pegasus 37, and I talk about how surprised I was how well that shoe held up, better than any other running shoe. Well, this is the complete opposite. And remember, it was mile 112. I saw that there's noticeable wear on the heel as well as the forefoot, and it's kind of rare for me because I just wear out the heel, being a heel striker. And then by mile 228, there was a noticeable decrease in the cushioning, and that translated to the ride as well. If you look at my graph, I changed it up a little bit from reflexivity, which is a word I made up, to rockertivity, which is another word I made up, but talking about how the shoe rocks you forward. But you can see both the cushioning and the rockertivity on this have a significant decrease once you get to about mile 100. Most shoes you expect they're going to hold up easily for 200 before you start getting any decreases, but nope, these really dropped off. And that was even evident when I weighed it. After 300 miles, it was 8.99 ounces, so 9.10 new, 8.99. It lost 0.1 ounce, and that's the biggest drop of any shoe I've ever worn. So my reviews, I usually just kind of give lip service to the grip, because there's really not much difference between any of them, but every once in a while I get a shoe that does feel a little bit different, and this would be one of them. The Hoka, I felt it was, especially getting closer to the end there, it almost felt a little gummy, not really sticky, but a little soft and gummy and squishy, and such that you lost some of that that lift off that you had from that rocking forward, especially again as these shoes got older and as they wore away. So in summary, I really enjoyed this experience with this Hoka Mach. I can see why people who wear them and are fans would only want to ever run in these Hokas. It's a different type of ride. So if there's anybody out there who's been running in different type of shoes and feel like the shoes just are lacking in a little something, or you're looking for something different, I strongly suggest you give these Hokas a try. They are different, they're a unique shoe, they give a different type of running experience, and this could be exactly what you're looking for. Be forewarned, they're not going to last very long. Probably have to change them after 200 miles, so you're not really getting a lot of miles for your dollar, but they give an interesting and unique ride, and I'm glad I gave them a shot. We appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section down below. If you feel like sharing your thoughts and experiences with the Hoka Mach, please put those down there as well. If you liked the video, found it helpful, just give it a thumbs up. Next we're going to be talking about reviewing this Saucony ride, so go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You'll be getting all the shoe reviews. We've also got a lot more state races coming. Bozeman, Montana will be posting soon, as well as Greenbrier River Trail and Marathon in West Virginia. So yeah, we've been getting out and about, and we're going to keep sharing our experience with you, and we're going to just keep racing the nation. So thanks again.